They are making a difference. On 938 Live.
In 2013, Singapore, yes, that's you and me, carelessly dumped 796,000 tons of food waste, a 13.2% increase from the 703,200 tons in 2012. In fact, food wastage took up 10% of the total wastage by Singapore last year. On the flip side, there are organizations here who are trying to stretch what they can gather for consumption to those who don't have enough to eat. Food Bank Singapore is one of those organizations, and to truly showcase our excessive and possibly obscene attitudes toward food, they'll be putting up a special exhibition this weekend, 18th and 19th of October, Saturday and Sunday at City Square Mall. I caught up with Nicholas Ng, co-founder of the Food Bank Singapore, to find out more about Project X-pired.
It's actually in conjunction with World Food Day 2014. We're actually collaborating with Edible Arts Movement, which is an alternative arts exhibition, basically just to raise awareness of food wastage in Singapore.
So I understand that you guys will be using expired food. Now, where did you get this expired food, and how are you creating it into art?
We actually asked around and we got the word out to asking people to donate their expired food items. So these canned items actually came from some food suppliers, some home donors, and there were also some that were accidentally donated to us, so we actually kept it aside. What happens is Edible Art Movement is taking all these expired canned food and making it into art pieces. They're going to make it things, for example, like a tree. So all the cans will be piled up and done, and then it looks like a tree, among other things.
Okay, so it's mostly from canned food then?
Yes, mostly canned.
I understand that these pieces will also be auctioned off, but doesn't that mean that people who buy the art pieces will just be holding on to expired food that will rot further?
I guess if it's canned, so it doesn't really matter in that sense. It's basically just for them to bid, and also for the people who are there at City Square Mall to visualize and see that how much food wastage there is in Singapore. So I guess that's the whole point.
Quite a few events taking place around this exhibition this coming weekend.
Yeah, there's a few events happening at the same time. Singapore Chefs Association actually has kindly donated and volunteered their time to help us with coming out with a buffet for us. And it's basically at no cost. We just had to provide the food items to them, and they would just come up with a meal, buffet line for us and for the guests and all the people that come to the events on that day. Besides that, we will also be launching Singapore's first food recycling bin at City Square Mall. We are working in collaboration with CBL, and they have kindly donated a space in City Square Mall where the public can actually donate leftover food items or food items that they don't want to eat anymore. And besides that, the public can also pledge a can, where we will have a sculpture in the middle of the event hall, and the public can pledge a can to build, and we can build this big, gigantic can sculpture.
Just going back to the food recycling bin that's being launched on that day, obviously not perishable food?
No perishable food. They're requesting for mainly canned and packaged items, and hopefully if the shelf life is not too short, if it's 2-3 months, we are perfectly fine. Maybe just don't donate 1-2 weeks, because it will take some time to come and collect the food.
I think what the Food Bank Singapore is doing is great. What else do you hope to see improve in terms of Singaporeans' behaviour in relation to food and consumption?
I guess in general, Singaporeans should obviously try and reduce food wastage by maybe not over-ordering, and be mindful of what you're ordering and what you're eating, and just don't, regardless of whatever the event might be, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a party, just don't order too much, don't buy too much food. And I guess if you really happen to have a bit too much food, do remember Food Bank, so that you can always donate your excess food items to us, and we can actually redistribute it out to the beneficiaries where we can put it to good use.
Project X-pired will be at the City Square Mall, Fountain Square, 180 Kitchener Road on the 18th and 19th of October. That's this Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is free, but for just $15, you can also sponsor a beneficiary to enjoy a meal at the event. Don't forget to bring along your donations of unopened, unexpired, non-perishable food items as well. To find out more about Project X-pired and what the Food Bank Singapore does, go to foodbank.sg. This has been They Are Making a Difference. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daphne Lim.
They are making a difference on 938 Live.